It's your girl T here, back with a TTime Tuesday video. I know y'all are having a beautiful, blessed day because we're tea timers. It's absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is, I got this. We got this. We're tea timers, so we absolutely got this. I wanted to talk to y'all today about practice makes perfect, because a lot of times I'm seeing questioning, repeating old stories over and over. Same people, same videos, same comments, disparaging comments under people's video that are trying to spread positivity. If you are consuming content just to a maximum degree and not executing it, what's the point, to be frank? If I went to school to become a lawyer, and right after I got out of school, I didn't start practicing law, I went and worked in a restaurant or at something that had nothing to do with my law degree that I just got, would I still be a successful lawyer in a couple of years? Or would I just be somebody working a different job with lawyer knowledge? The thing is, you can consume as much as you want, but if you're not practicing it or seeing what works for you, how are you going to know that you create your own reality? How are you going to know which technique or lack thereof works for you and doesn't work for you? When I first started consciously manifesting, I consumed more content than probably, well, I can't say anybody else, but I consumed a lot of content. I would watch every single video of every single coach. I would resonate more with one coach, and then I would overconsume their content. And then when I would see a situation pop up in my 3D, I would search for a video on that topic, do exactly what they said, put out another fire, then I would put out another fire, and it was this manifestation loop of hell I got into. If I didn't listen to enough subliminals at night, my reality won't shift. If I don't do that, and I started creating rules on the already existing rules of how manifestation was going to work for me based on a compilation and collection of rules I got from various videos, because I wasn't sticking with one process or testing it out for myself. I'm trying to save y'all the agony of this. Essentially, even if you never learned through YouTube about conscious manifestation and you just started deciding what worked for you or what was going to happen for you, rather, you would still consciously manifest, because it's a factory setting within us. When you first get your phone, it's one of those apps that was already existing in the phone that you can't delete off. It's just about finessing it and learning how to use it once you get the phone, or ourselves per se. We already had this power in us, factory built. We're just learning how to fine tune it and making ourselves aware of it, because the awareness that we're able to create our reality has been lost in translation through the various times, only to be heard by a set amount of people, or people who are ready to hear it. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you already know how to do this. You've been doing it your whole life. It's deciding which way works best for you. If you walk out the door tomorrow and declare that something's going to happen and have no doubt in your mind that it will, it'll happen. If you believe something so strongly is going to go negative for you, it'll happen. If you affirm it a million times that something's going to happen and you almost feel like you don't need to affirm for it anymore because you're so sure that it's happening, it's happening. If you say something's not happening for you, but you keep saying not over and over enough times where it feels like you know in the back of your mind it's happening, but you're saying not out loud, it's happening. The point is, what you're deciding and aware of is what's going to happen. So whatever way that works for you, whether you affirm it to be true and convince yourself it's true, or you tell yourself that this is what's happening and you drop it and go on to your next category or your next awareness, it'll happen. Or if you just, what I'm trying to say is, doesn't matter what technique you use, you have to actually execute the information you're learning. If you are just learning about conscious manifestation and you have 4 techniques that have been shown to you and you see success stories, but you haven't tried out any of those, or you haven't even made a decision on something happening and see it come to fruition, how are you going to know that you consciously create your reality? And if you don't consciously know that you don't create your reality, how are you going to see success in your reality? And how are you going to choose a new version of yourself where you get the things that you want. And then what's going to happen when you do something a couple times, it doesn't work? What usually happens, you go under a video and tell everybody else to GFY because it's not working for you as it is for them. You got to play around with this, kids. You got to see what works for you, what doesn't, how things are working for you, how the information you're getting is being utilized in your 3D environment. Because again, if you go to school for something but you don't use the knowledge that you've learned, how are you going to become a master at it? How are you going to master that particular information that you've gained through schooling if you're not using it? If my children learn their ABCs and then never said ABCs again, would they be ABC masters, or would they forget it down the line? Of course, anything that you learn, you need to practice consistently so that you get better at it. It's the same thing with manifestation consciously. You got to practice it. You got to relearn it. You got to learn it from a powerful perspective where you are getting the things you want, and see in your reality how things are going to play out for you and which way works best for you. It doesn't matter which way you go ahead and manifest things, but the point is, put your foot in the door and start doing it. Don't look at success stories and get mad and say comments about it. Or when I'm saying a video, do expletives under my video because it hits a trigger in you. Figure out where that trigger's coming from. Figure out why things are playing out the way they are if they're not going in your favor. And figure out how to turn it around and do it in the opposite direction so that you live a happier life. If that's not for you, then don't spoil other people's fun by saying negative things about what they're saying in a successful way. They've done the work. They've went out and tried the different techniques that work or don't work for them, and they figured out how to get what they want. The information's out there for everybody to utilize. The key is you have to start utilizing it. I know it's tempting when your 3D looks shady to just jump into that circumstance and say, ugh, I tried everything and now it's just showing up, so I give up. Don't give up. Keep picking a new identity. Keep picking new thoughts. Keep managing your energy to focus on the things that you want. And I promise you, things will go your way. But if you're writing a book and you haven't even put the first chapter together, how are you going to allow people to read it? You have to do the action, per se, of trying out different things to see what works for you. And it's not even an action, it's changing your thoughts, managing your energy, refocusing your awareness. We do this already. We're just using it for our own benefit. So I just wanted to post up a video to say, get to using your information. I know you guys are all powerful creators because you watch me, and we're an extension of each other. I love y'all, but not as much as you should be loving yourself. Have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Bye.